So I'm finally back with another one of these analysis videos. I want to apologize for taking so long to making this video. A lot of work got in the way, unfortunately, and I kind of just put it to the side and just never gave it a priority over the other things I wanted to do. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm finally back. And I was actually working on a Turio video. I think it was a Turio versus Ain or Ain. And then as I was working on that, someone actually posted a question on the Discord. It's like, hey, can anyone explain to me why this player loses so badly to this Soul for like 20 minutes straight? And I thought, that's actually a good question. We can learn very well from top tier level play, but we can also learn from other people's mistakes. Now, this player isn't the best, but he has really good combos. I really like his combos. But he takes bad decisions, and he takes um, he has a bad mindset in a lot of times. And to really think, to really understand the way he thinks and why he does the things he does, I want you to just watch this first match. He's winning quite convincingly. But if you pay really close attention to what he is doing, you can kind of see there's some flaws in his game. I'll just leave this running in its entirety, full speed and everything. I won't analyze this match, but I do want you to see this, to explain why. Basically, I will be reviewing one of the matches where he loses, which is like two, and the third match I think it was, just gives you the best examples. The reason why he's winning in this match is because he's getting away with a lot of shit, and it's mostly on Soul's part, because he kind of fucks up in a lot of things. Not really, but I mean, like, he's already done. I'm not even done talking. He, like, let me show you an example. I think there was one at six minute mark. So he gets a knockdown, right? And I want you to watch this. What happens? So he just dashes in. He doesn't get a proper setup, right? So he has meter right here. He gets a derivative follow up. He has meter. You can set up a grounded YRC note easily and get a proper Oki. He doesn't use his meter. He doesn't get a proper follow up. So just jumps away. Jumps, super jumps, because he loves doing this for whatever reason, and he likes coming down with JK. But Soul sees this, tries to anti it, nothing happens. Did it too soon. He drops his combo. He whiffs his HCL. He avoids 6P by using a YRC, luckily, and then he gets a combo afterwards. I mean, you are getting away with so much shit that it should not be fair for. It should not be allowed. You should not be allowed to play. Regardless, he gets away with a lot of shit like this, and the rest of the rounds, he does not. And I'll go over it on this next one, which is the third match in the YouTube video. I will post a link if you want to see the rest of the matches, if you want to like analyze it. But I mean, he will be losing a lot, and unless you go down and really see it in detail, you may not see it. You have to pay really close attention to what he's doing wrong. So round start, whatever. There's not much to go over it. He has been playing for a little bit. I'm pretty sure they've played for a while, so they kind of know their reads and stuff. So that's why you just see Soul neutral jump and backdash and HCO. And backdash HCO is not too bad of an idea. It's pretty safe. Of course, the can get blown up with like an IED forward, which does happen in the very first game. But regardless, I mean, I'm not gonna get too much into it. The follow-up stuff is more important. I want you to really pay attention to this. Eno is not afraid of the DP for whatever reason. He is afraid in all the other ones. I don't know why he decided to do that in this one. Again, I don't know how much they play. He wasn't afraid on the very first round, and he started being afraid of him on the second, third, fourth, fifth. I don't know why. But regardless, this is why you shouldn't be too scared of it. This setup in particular is pretty bad against Dragon Punches. You should probably not do it against characters with Dragon Punches. But he does it here. Regardless, if you're going to do this, commit to it. because what he does is a 5p follow-up. Now, you can do so much more than just 5p. If you're doing a fast fall follow-up, you actually have time to recover, hover forward, and then JK land 5p, and then you follow up the combo. This guy just does a 5p. I don't know why. I guess he was expecting him to get blocked or something. But you can follow it up with a hover JK enough to be like a frame trap. So there's no reason to just go with 5p, because I think he was expecting it to be blocked because he doesn't follow it up. If you're gonna follow up with the 5p in a combo, you can react to this. Follow it up with like a gimmick or convert it to a 5k HCL or something. There's no reason to just let him tech out. And this is a big problem of his play. He doesn't get the conversions all the time. And I think it's because he's just not ready for it. He doesn't expect every situation. And you should definitely convert from every single poke, every single hit. Which is what you will see in any pro play. And you will see this from the Soul player. Any hit the Soul player gets, he definitely converts. He puts Ino in a really shitty situation, and then she just dies. So, I mean, I'm gonna move through this match in slow motion. I'm not gonna play the entire thing in its normal pace, but I'm just gonna show you all these examples of what you should not be doing. I'm sorry if you want to see the full match. Again, I'll leave a link in the description. Anywho, this is the next point I want to make. This Ino has the right and the wrong mindset, I guess. He has the reactions to anti-air every time. The problem with him is that he anti-airs with 5p. Now, it doesn't really come to bite him in the ass as much in this round, in this matches. I think it does once or twice, compared to all the other ones later. But 5p is a proper answer, can be a proper answer. But if you're going to anti-air at this distance against Soul, there's no reason to not use 6p. You know, it's significantly safer. But yeah, you can anti-air with 5p. I would say like you would need to know what you're doing. And 5p really works if you're fighting like a IED, not an IED, like a late air dash Soul. So Soul can air dash at a distance or at a height where the 6p will whiff completely, and then his jump H will hit you, whereas your 5p will connect and hit this jump H. So, I mean, 5p does have its uses. I just, like, if someone's coming down at you like this, it's probably better to anti-air with either JP or 6p. And again, it'll come to bite him later on, and I'll give you an example. But regardless, he anti-airs and he tries to get the follow-up. He gets a black beat. I mean, he had the right idea, so I can't really talk too much shit about that. But you definitely have to complete your combos. You can't let this happen. Alright, next thing. Next example, Bad Habit. If you see this distance, that's okay. It's a good distance to throw a fireball. If he Fafnirs, the fireball will stop it. Hopefully it doesn't counter hit. But, you know, Soul just backdashes. He might have been scared from an HCL or hover or something, I don't know. Regardless, at this distance, it's okay to throw fireball. That's what he decided to do. That's what the Soul decided to do. That's fine. Neutral game. The bad part about this is that he immediately hovers behind it. Don't do this. This is Bad Habit. The reason with this is because this happens. The opponent simply sees a fireball coming at him, so he's gonna jump in. He doesn't want to block it. If he blocks it, Ino gets a free jump in, or a free get in for free card. Because it's gonna blow up in his face 4 or 5 times, and Ino can do whatever she wants during that time. You don't want to block it, and of course you don't want to get hit by it. So you just jump over it, right? If you're following this up, if you're hovering right behind him, you're not gonna be able to get any sort of follow-up. That's exactly what this Ino did. I'm not sure if he reacted to it, him jumping, because he tried to hit him when he was standing. So, this is something what I've seen in the other matches. It's not going to really show here in this one, but he kind of fixates himself on one idea instead of trying to react to the situation, you know? So he'll fixate himself into backdash HCL when he could have done backdash 6P because the opponent was air dashing at him, you know, some stuff like that. Again, it happens in the first round. You can go back and see it. And it tends to happen in the later games as well. But he just fixates himself on trying to do something. Just try to react to it. Like if you wanted to react to it in this situation, you could just, because he's too far to catch a jump in. So what you can do here is, because you have a slow fireball, jump and then land right here, like where around that orange cup is at the bottom of that like little car. Oh, I'm not sure what that is. It's like a little yellow orange can. You can land there, right? Let the fireball move forward and then react to whatever the soul is doing. Maybe he tries to Grand Viper under it or something, you know, something stupid, or he jumps over it, which is more likely. You can anti-air it. You can, you know, block it or whatever. Don't block it, but you know, you get the idea. You can see what's happening instead of already committing to something. Now, the reason why this is a bad habit is because you don't really get punished for it. You're running right behind the fireball. So this happens. You get away with it, but you don't really capitalize from it. So that's why it's a bad habit. You'll see Eno players, like any other Eno player, any like not professional, pro, yeah, but I guess you can see just pro Eno players. They'll throw a fireball and then just stay there. They'll wait. They have the patience to just wait and see if you get hit, if you don't get hit, if you dodge, what are you doing, and should they throw another fireball. That is totally okay. You can have the patience. Look at the clock at the top. You still have 90 seconds to do something, to make something work. There's no reason for you to start committing to stupid stuff. Like right here, the very next thing he does, dive kick. Now, I can't really talk too much shit about this. It is valid in a lot of situations. You will see this from Turio. Most of the time, in fact, he does it like 2 times against Ain with the match I was researching. But his are much more calculated. It's more of a punish because he knows exactly that what Ain wants to punish and what he faked it out. You know what he faked out. So I can't talk too much shit about this. It's just a little bit more risky at this distances. You can get a jump back S dive or K dive. I guess in this situation would have been better and hit him like right on the toes. He hits him kind of in the waist, which is not the best kind of dive kick. You want to aim him at the toes and still be safe. But it avoids all kinds of pokes. And I do this all the time. I mean, it's somewhat fraudulent, but it works, and you get away with it most of the time. So, and of course, Turio did this exact same thing against Ain. So again, I can't really talk too much shit about it, but you know, there's no real reason. And I just said this. You still have 90 seconds on the clock. You could have just backdashed or try to poke him with like a 2H. I think 2H would have connected here. You get a counter hit combo, and you still. I mean, he had more than enough time to do it. Soul was just doing 2P, but you know, I mean, like, you don't have to commit to things immediately, or however JK could have probably gone over the 2P, but I mean, it's still risky. You could have gotten poked out. All right, this is my next point. This Eno player, again, I told you at the very beginning, he wasn't afraid of DPs, but then he's afraid of all the other ones. So what he does immediately after is just block. So he got a K dive or S dive dive kick. I think it was S dive. Yeah, it was S dive. If you get an S dive, you have enough time. You recover fast enough to get some sort of follow ups. Here you recovered. You can do a lot of things. You can hover with a safe jump. Hover safe jump. You can jump over. You can set up a grounded note. You can set up something, right? And more importantly, he has meter, so he has even more options. He could VCL YRC. He can use a upwards hover dash and get on top of him and do VCL YRC. He can do instant air dash, VCL YRC, which is a cross up, and also Dragon Punch safe. You know, he can do a lot of stuff. You can note YRC or backdash 5D YRC. Like, he has so many options, but he doesn't do any of it. He doesn't commit to anything. He just stands there and blocks it. He is baiting for a DP. This Soul, again, it's probably because they've played a lot, and this Soul does have some YOLO Dragon Punches, but he doesn't do it as often as this I-No player thinks, which really comes to bite him in the butt, because not only did Soul not Dragon Punch, excuse me, but he loses all kind of pressure. He doesn't get any follow-up. He doesn't get anything from this. You just back to neutral. I mean, there's no reason to do this. You're banking on the fact that he Dragon Punches. Like, this whole game plan that you have going for you is 100% dependent of him Dragon Punching. That is not the way to play I-No, or not the way to play any fighting game, because you're risking everything you had going for you in that one Dragon Punch. There's no reason to do that, especially when you have Dragon Punch safe jump-ins, Dragon Punch safe setups, you have meter to do stuff. There's no reason to do that. So proper usage meter would be great in this situation, and of course knowing the timings for hovers, because I don't think this I-No player knows that. It is a bit tricky sometimes, but you can just do it. You can just play by ear. Anywho, and it really shows here, because you lose the entire momentum when you don't have that and you don't have meter. But he does have meter, so you should have seen that. As soon as you get the dive kick, you should be checking your meter. That's what I do. Anyways, so he decides to bait the DP by just blocking. The Soul player is expecting something, sees nothing happen, he just blocks, right? So what he does next is not too bad of an idea. He does 2P, 2H. Now that's a counter hit setup. Sometimes the Souls or other people trend, not Souls. Sometimes other players tend to press buttons in between. You can get caught with 2H. I mean, 2P, 2H is not too bad of a Gatling, even if they don't get counter hit. You still get pressure from a 2H. But regardless, it's designed to catch you a counter hit. And if that does happen, you get a free follow-up combo if it counter hits. And you'll see Toriel do this a lot. He'll get a 2H, and even if it didn't counter hit, you still hover in. People don't usually expect it for whatever reason. And you can just hover in and get a combo. I mean, I've only really seen Toriel do this. But yeah, he got 2 or 3 times. He got this the 2H hit, counter hit 2 or 3 times in the against his Tomo, what's it called? Exhibition. So it was an exhibition. It was some sort of round robin tournament. Regardless, whatever. 2H hover. It's not super safe, but it can catch people off if you want to try it. And if it does counter hit, you get a free combo follow up. So I mean, there is reasons for him doing this. But regardless, he gets JK gets a combo. Whatever. There's not much to say about this. Follows it up. Okay. So he ends up with a bad combo. Now, you could have followed this up with a here in this point. You could have followed this up with a JS JH and then drop him down with a P dive. He decides to go with a jump P for whatever reason and gets this bad follow up. I would call this a bad follow up combo. I don't know why. You should not be committing yourself to bad combos. The S dive combos, or I'm sorry, K dive combos you can get in the end. I mean, they're okay. They're conversions, so it's something. But you should always do something with that. You should be ready to follow that up, because you don't really get the best options. You don't get a fireball Loki like you would from a P dive. And this guy doesn't really do it. He backdashes, okay, immediately, and he just blocks. Now it works out for him in this time, because he was totally expecting the Dragon Punch. He baits it out, and this Soul falls third. He bet it again. 100% of his plan counted on Soul using a Dragon Punch. Again, it worked out in the situation, but I'm not sure if you remember. At the end of the video, he had 2 meters. What time is this? 40 seconds. At the end of the video, he had 2 bars, and he does the exact same thing. here. Oh, come on. I wasn't from a dive kick, but regardless, he had 2 bars. He does this. If you want to bet 100% of the time, like if you're gonna bet your entire, you know, pressure on Soul using a Dragon Punch, you could have gone for a setup like this. You could have gone air dash JK into the super. You have the meter to do so. It would have worked. It would have worked on block. There's no reason not to have follow it up like the way. You have meter in this situation and you don't do anything about it. Why? You know? So you could have done Fireball YRC, again, VCO YRC, whatever. Like ID VCO YRC. There you go. Not the regular VCO. Oh, you can. You can actually VCO YRC like right in front of their face and just hold faultless defense in the air and it'll work as well. I mean, but again, those setups that I just mentioned don't count on the fact on Soul Dragon punching 100% of the time, right? You're like you're counting, you completely counting that. But regardless, you get a punish afterwards. It works out for him. And again, I guess it's bad habits, and that's why he keeps doing it. Because they work out. He manages to get away with it. Right here in the follow-up, he just loses his combo. He drops his combo. I can't really blame him too much for that. I mean, those are a little bit tricky. But even if you do drop it, it's not too bad of a thing. I mean, you can choke and just die. But he has pretty much a full bar of meter and has full health and has a lot of time. So like there's no real reason to rush anyways. So it's fine to go to for those combos every now and then at the end if you want to style or something. But I mean like high level wise, you want to think like, oh, I don't want to give him. He's gonna die for sure, but you don't want to give him burst, you know, for the next round because that's the only thing that continues from round to round. But anyways, whatever. Going off on a tangent. Anyways, he drops this combo immediately. The Soul gets a 5H ID. Now this is totally punishable, of course. You may not expect this because sometimes they don't follow it up, and I think in this very same match, Soul gets a 5H but doesn't follow it up, which kind of throws off the Eno player. But you can totally punish this. If you can jump throw it, you can 6P out of the air. If you just hold back and like, oh no, if imagine he didn't do the 2K. I don't know why he did the 2K either. I mean, he from this distance, he's probably trying to go underneath the what's it called, the bandit revolver or bandit bringer. It doesn't really work out too well in my experience, but you know, that's may have been what he was trying to do. That's what he probably saw. Anyways, if you're just holding back this entire time, you can hold back in this until this situation. You can just press P, back P, which in this case would be a 6P because Eno already turned around. You would have 6P'd this. You would 6P'd him out of the air. It's something I'm personally trying to work with. Because it works magic and it works very well to catch up cross ups. But in this situation, you could have also thrown him. Like if he did not do the 2K, he's not recovering here. He could have jump throw him. I mean, the Soul is pressing P all the way through specifically to stop that. But you could have anti-aired here. Like at the last second, just press P. In some situations, the game will just block for you, even if you're holding 4 here, because like the cross up is just it's last second. I don't think it will work for this case, but and there's some cases where people just jump over you, like a Street Fighter cross up. The game will just block for you. There's a what's it called, cross up protection or something like that. It's just to avoid unblockables. If you hold 4P and they cross you up like in 1 or 2 frames and then hit you later, the game will just block for you. And they will block the correct direction even if you're holding towards them. It's because you were blocking beforehand, you know. So again, if you're holding back and they cross you up in 1 or 2 frames, the game will just block for you. And you can just use that, abuse that. Again, I don't think it would have worked in this situation because he's so far back. But you could have just pressed 6P instead of blocking cross up. Anyways, going off in tangents here. So this here, the Eno player, that this is his answer for the Gunflame, which is a legit answer. If Soul did not have meter and he would have jumped here, you could just dive kick and hit him. But the Soul uses his Warrior C to get more pressure, to extend this pressure. But yeah, just know that you can, if the Soul does not Warrior C this, you can jump and dive kick and punish him, and that happens in the very first round. I don't know the timing, like where it is in the video, but you can just probably go back and watch. It was like in the very first round. Anyways, he gets a proper, he gets a, I'm not sure what to call this. It's a bit risky to jump for, but he sees it and he just throws them, which I can't really blame him too much for it. That's pretty much the correct answer. Um, Not much to say about that. I'll just leave it run as it is. And we're still in the first round, so I mean, I gotta go. I gotta keep talking. Gotta continue this. Okay, this is another problem with this Eno player. I don't think most people have this problem with this issue, but this Eno player absolutely loves to just super jump and do something with it. I think I already pointed this out. He just super jumps and tries to come down with a button. Oh yeah, it was when that whole scramble came up with like Soul trying to anti-air him and like he didn't really connect it properly. This Eno player just jumps and just wants to come down with a button. So he just gets hit here because he wasn't expecting the air dash. But this Soul does jump properly. So if you want to see a bad example, look at this Eno player. You jump up and hit him. And a good example would be this Soul. So this Soul does the exact same thing that this Eno player does. He has a significantly better button than Eno. And not even he likes to jump in to hit him. So first of all, this Soul player is not just jumping for no reason. He's trying to catch something. He's trying to catch him ticking forward. He's trying to catch him trying to get away because he just ticked in the air. So Soul's JH is active for a very long time and recovers significantly quicker. So significantly quick. So you can do JH on the way up and then JP on the way down or something like that. This Soul doesn't do that at all. He just super jumps, sees that him trying to catch a throw, or I'm sorry, trying to catch him teching or whatever doesn't work out. He just immediately gets out of there because he sees this at the bottom. You see Eno, she's ready to anti-air him. So why would him as an Eno player? Well, why would the Eno player just jump and just do that on the way down if he's expecting an anti-air, just like Soul was expecting an anti-air from Eno. He gets away with a lot of it. Again, it shows in the very first round. Also, jump K. Eno's jump K is really good at clashing against things because her hitbox is above her hitbox. So and it's active for a very long time. So it'll clash often, more than not, against 6Bs. So you get away with it. That's why he does it. But again, it's really bad because it bites him on this. Again, on other rounds, it bites him more than this one and these matches. But overall, it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna move on because I really need to get through these rounds. Another example, yeah, from like a good jump. So Soul backdashes, right? He doesn't want to face this anti-air 6P on the floor, so he just jumps again. Tests the waters. So he is testing right now. He does jump up JP. You can totally do this as Eno as well. Just jump JP and see what's happening if like the opponent fell for or ran into the JP. If not, if the opponent did not run into the JP, you could just jump back. You could still be safe, right? You're not committing to the jump yet. So jumping is not a terrible idea. You can get blown up for it, but I mean, if you double jump out of the way, it's still safe. You can still use it in neutral. You can still use it as movement. Regardless, Eno decides to HCO, just poke him. Overall, it's a bad idea. Don't poke at these ranges with HCO. There's no reason, especially with no YRC. People can just blow you up for it. Like if Kai would have just stood there, and crouched there and just wait for you to do something, and he sees you HCO, he could just slide and punish you, and then you're gonna be sad. So don't do that. This Soul decided to jump. he sees that Ino completely whiffed the HCO, so with his jump, instead of backdashing or double jumping out of the way, he just sees, oh, I get a free jump in, free dash in. Ino could have totally 6p this. Actually no, he could have. This is one of the distances where I'm kind of iffy. If Soul had done JH, it would have gone over Ino's 6p. So this is the correct spot to have used the 5p. But blocking it is just fine. You can't. You sometimes don't have the reaction to just anti-air. But definitely, if you can anti-air, there's absolutely no reason for you not to anti-air. So you blocked it. And I guess it's a little bit of the Street Fighter mentality. You know, if you throw a fireball, don't block the opponent jumping over. You just drag and punch him out of the air. You know, if you can do it, just do it. Anyways, 5p, not 5p, 5h, IAD. You know, this time decides to just stroke the big tree. I'm pretty sure he just saw it and just decided to get out of the way. If you want to get out of the way, usually the best way to do this is if you have a meter, because if you're here, you're out, and that's totally fine. But this commits to, okay, that's what I was trying to get at. So if you stroke the big tree, you're fine, but you can still get smacked from some follow-ups. Now I'm not sure if this tried to do backdash 6p. I mean, backdashing out of this is pretty safe. Had he just backdashed and block, he would have been safe. So I mean, it's not a terrible idea to just stroke the big tree. Wire seeing it would have been the best in this situation. I do this a lot. I stroke the big tree, wire C, and then they can just dash back in. Because the slowdown and everything, it sometimes works out. Because you can still get poked out of the air, but regardless, what I was trying to get at is, this Ino player fixates himself on doing some movement thing. So like he'll fixate himself on doing super jump and then JK on the way down, jump kick on the way down, or backdash HCL or backdash something. He was already fixated on that. If you're doing anything movement wise, at least try to react to whatever your opponent is doing. So in this case, he backdashes and immediately commits to the 6p without confirming anything that Soul is doing. Soul is running at your face. In this situation, you should have just blocked. He just gets 6 by the 6p. Big combo afterwards. Actually, I think he bursts. But, yeah. Don't commit on anything movement-wise. If you backdash, be ready for some sort of follow-up. Don't just commit to it, because that's when stuff like this starts happening. You start getting punished about things. So, once you burst, you land at this distance, like this distance, right? Like before you jump, imagine they're both on the ground. That's perfect timing to throw a fireball. This dude just straight up decides to hover in. Now this is usually a bad idea. Most good players will blow you up for just dashing in forward, because instead of doing Fafnir, and I'm pretty sure it happens later on, this Soul could have just decided to run up 6p. Run up 6p would have been a counter hit in this case. It would have completely blown you up and you would have lost half your health because it's a counter hit. Had this Fafnir also connected, the Ino player would have been really sad. But he manages to luck out. He gets the JH before the Soul does. But regardless, just hovering in neutral like this will get you blown up. Don't do this usually. Throw a fireball. There's no reason to throw a fireball and then do something from it. Then you can actually follow it up with a JH or something, or react to them jumping or whatever the case is, or throw it high and then react to them running at you. That's totally fine, but not this. He got away with it in this case, much like the very first round, but this is okay. I need to keep moving on, so I'm just gonna move on to the next topic here. This guy does this a lot. I don't know why this is a bad habit. Don't do this. Please don't do this. He follows it up with 5H. Even if this very first hit, oh no, it wasn't that one. How to say this? There's distances for the 2S that'll not combo into 5H, or HCL. There's no reason for him to just follow it up with the 5H. and then whiff an HCL. Again, like I said, Kai can punish this with the slide. Soul can't really do much from this distance, but please, 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 if you get a hit, just follow it up immediately. Here, you could have followed up with an HCL. And some distances you can't. So usually like the best follow up for a 2S is a 2H. And Daru does this a lot. If he gets a 2S hit, he always 100% of the time follows it up with a 2H, not a 5H, 2H. Because if the 2H connects, that means the HCL afterwards is gonna definitely 100% connect. And in this case, it whiffed because of the JH here. It pushes him far enough for this to whiff, not combo. Again, it reaches pretty far, but again, the 2H would have been a better follow-up. Had it would have whiffed, and if it whiffs, that means the HCL wouldn't follow up, and I guess, and of course in this case it doesn't follow up either. So it's a good habit that you can pick up, but you need to do something with it, because if it whiffs, you need to follow it up, because people will immediately see it whiff. They can also identify the distances where 2H will whiff, and try to punish you for it. And it happened with the Tuyo Ain match I was trying to look over. I actually think it was Daru. That specific matchup I was looking at. So 2S and 2H. Daru did 2S 2H, and the 2H whiffed entirely, and Ain saw that and immediately tried to punish it with the slide. Daru knew that it was gonna whiff, so he did jump back dive kick, and it punished Ain. He got a counter hit, and I think he got a reset afterwards. But regardless, if you're gonna dash in and you get a 2S, either you can hit confirm it that you're right there in his face, or not, and just cancel it directly into an HCL. Again, you have to make sure he's standing, or cancel into 2H. Again, 2H is a safer option because that's a 100% guarantee that you're gonna get a follow up. But if it does whiff, you need to know how to follow it up. So just be aware with that. It's also important in neutral. Again, I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. I kind of forgot. 2S in neutral, if someone's running at you and you poke him with 2S, the HCO may not be a 100% follow-up because you poked them with it at the max distance. So 2S, 2H is usually a more consistent follow-up. Just so you know. Okay. I need to move on. I can't go into too many details because I'm starting to go off on tangents and stuff. On this very first round, Soul does this. He does run up 2D. Now in this situation, the 2D will catch JS. I mean, this is a bad option for Soul. Not in this matchup. This does not work against most of the things Ino has. Again, I'm just trying. I'm thinking ahead here. I'm trying not to go into tangents. Okay, what I'm trying to get at is that Soul run ups 2Ds that beats JS. Ino's JS, and it happens in the very first round. But any other button that Ino could have pressed would have just either whiffed or punished him. JK would have punished him, and JH would have punished him. JP, JD will just make it whiff, which happens here. It just whiffs. Now, this Soul has a bad mindset. I guess I'm not sure if he's specifically trying to catch the JS because it does work, or he's just playing his neutral game from like every other matchup, which this would have worked against Milia or something, because it goes under a lot of stuff. Had he done run up 6P here instead of 2D, Ino would have lost 100% of the time. So this is bad on the Soul's part. Instead of doing run up 2D, which will catch Stroke the Big Tree, JS, and maybe some pokes, he should have done just run up 6P, and it would have just punished her badly. Anyways, that's bad on the Soul's part. Gets a combo. Now this is some props to him. Okay, this is why I kind of like his combos. It's pretty sick. He is aware of the situation, but he doesn't usually take the right decision. But he's aware of this one. He does 6P 5H, which is a regular fault, but then he does neutral jump JS. I don't know why if he fucked up or not, because usually that's not the correct follow up. Usually it's just neutral jump JH. But he does neutral jump JS JH, Alright? And then he does dive kick. The reason why he does neutral jump is not only because it's a proper follow-up to the combo, but the soul also has a burst. This whole thing was burst safe. This was burst safe, this was burst safe, and that was burst safe until landing. You can burst when he's landing because he's still recovering. But regardless, that was burst safe. He was aware of that. And I commend him for that. The soul doesn't burst, unfortunately, but he was well aware of that happening. Or anyways, he gets this follow-up, which is pretty cool. I was gonna say it's a 4-hit follow up, but no, this is just a 3-hit note follow up, and he baits out the DP. Now he definitely baited it out. He didn't like drop an input or anything, because he just blocks on the way down. He's just holding block on the way down. I don't think the soul was mashing DP because there's kind of a little bit of a gap in between. I think he was expecting the Ino to rehover in and catch that. In this situations, I know I said like you can do a lot of stuff to just follow it up, and you can. Had he just done a grounded note YRC here or whatever he did, just YRC this or red RC it, or I guess it would have been a red RC. You could have thrown that, land, and then do HCO YRC here. There you go. That's a proper follow up or something if you want to use meter or something, and then you can react to Soul Dragon punching or not. I can't blame him too much for this. Again, I said like committing to it is too bad. It's not that. Committing to 100% to the Dragon Punch is a pretty bad idea. But in this situation, I think it's fine because the Soul had meter. That's really important. You can't really bait out a Dragon Punch when they have meter in terms of like safe jumps. Because you'll just end up blocking the DP, and then they can have the RC to follow it up, and then you're under pressure, which kind of sucks. So you'll actually see this a lot from like top tier players. As soon as they have meter, they just backdash. They'll commit to the backdash or something and bait out a DP, and it's because they're looking at their meter. He gets a punish afterwards. He drops it, unfortunately. He follows it up, but then he does this. Don't do this ever. If you are, at least follow it up with something. He drops this combo. He sees that the soul didn't tech, but then he decides to OTG. Why? Why are you doing this? You're back into neutral. He's trying to bait the DP very, very badly. This is a big mistake. You're not going to get proper follow-ups. I mean, he had a knockdown, right? So he has a knockdown here. You could have set something up. You could have hovered or something. But he decides to OTG. I mean, you lose all kind of pressure when that happens. But if you're in the corner, it's still valid. You can do you can cancel this into a forward dash and then throw if they tech, and then go for an option select afterwards with a VCO YRC or something, which may have worked better in the situation because it does throw off the Dragon Punch timing. This OTG does throw off the Dragon Punch timing, but he's still committing to trying to bait something. Look how much meter you have. You can do a lot of stuff. You have to be reacting, and again, it goes back to this Eno player just fixating himself on one thing. He'll jump JK or backdash and HCO, and he's already committed to that. Don't do this, please. Don't OTG just for no reason. And it's not gonna work even. But whatever. Again, I can't touch too much on the subjects. We're still in round number 1, so round number 2. So I need to keep moving, and it's already like 44 minutes. Damn. So anyways, HCO, YRC, this isn't too bad of a thing. I mean, you can get blown up for this if they just decide to block it. Crouch it. They could just 6P you out of the air, but you have to react if it connects or not, Of course, he goes off he follows it up with JH, which is a burst safe follow-up. So right now he's trying to bait the burst. He goes with if you hold back during the JS and the JH, the whole thing is safe. It's safe here. It's safe here, and he follows it up with a 4P, I guess you could say. He does 4P, which is burst safe, but he's mashing it too fast, unfortunately. This is a big problem. I had this problem as well, and I had to really teach myself not to do it this fast. If you immediately Gatling your 4P into 4P, there's absolutely no time for you to block in the middle. You just mash in 5P. So he could have blocked. Had he done it a little bit slower, it would have worked, but he just managed to get another 5P in it. Don't just mash it. I mean, bad on his part for not knowing that, or maybe like giving in to his nerves and just mashing as hard as he could. But yeah. Anyways, this is back to the Eno. Okay, Eno is again committing to the super jump and just tries to come down. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a different situation. So yeah, this is the proper way of doing the super jump. Super jump. He sees that Soul didn't take any bait or anything, or sees he's just standing there. He just backdashes. That's the proper way of doing it. He's still safe. Nothing happened. He didn't get hit or anything, and you're still back to neutral. You still have meter. There's meter on both sides. You could have done a note YRC. You can do something YRC. Like the meter is there for you to do stuff with. And I don't know what the Soul was thinking. I guess he wasn't expecting the backdash or something, or he fucks up an input or something. He just gets a dragon punch. And this is definitely something that everyone should work on. If you have two bars, if you see something like this happen, just definitely YRC it or PRC it or red RC it. Like react to it. It's like you're not gonna recover in time if you just whiff the HCL. You just use a Roman cancel to just immediately punish. That's good. This is good. I commend this. You could probably have gotten the kill, but he drops the combo unfortunately, and it puts him in this situation. Now again, I said this before. He kind of commits to his backdashes, but in neutral, if you see the situation, you don't. You kind of want to move in and or move out into different ranges, and people tend to do this. They just hover and then JS or hover JH. Um, Again, I said at the beginning it will blow you up for it, but because of 6p, because people can just run up 6p, but people can also air dash like this. This will also hit you, and some characters can do this, some characters can't. But just doing that in neutral will get you blown up, which is what happened here. Unfortunately, he doesn't get a follow up, and he doesn't get a follow up. But the Xeno recovers and he shows something bad. Again, he's committing to the jump. I guess he tried to throw. I want to say that may have been in, just to give him some credit. That would have maybe have worked. But he jumps. So no. So he jumps and tries to throw him or something. But again, I don't know. I don't know what was going on. But regardless, I want to say he either tries to throw him here. I mean, so that may have worked. But yeah, he just gets punched. I'll just leave it as he tried to throw it because I don't want to think too much into it nor waste too much time. Regardless, he falls for this gimmick. Okay, straight up falls for it. I'll play it in full motion right here, but you need to pay attention to this. This is kind of important, and this you have to see this frame. Whenever Soul activates Dragon Install, at least in my situations, always pay attention to how high they are into the ground. Usually, they're on the floor now, or it's really noticeable. For me, this is really noticeable. I personally would have blocked this high. He blocks it low. But it's important to point out because there's some setups for some characters who can YRC in the air, kind of like Milia. Milia can do hair car YRC, and it'll look somewhat like this. It'll look like a YRC in the air, like they're just standing there and then the YRC. It's really important to see because you'll get if you don't see, you'll get hit by instant air overheads. So that's what happened for this Eno player. He was just blocking low for whatever reason. Definitely don't do that against Dragon Install. I guess he thought it was a mix-up. You can't go up for mix-up afterwards. You could just land in 2K. But I mean that doesn't really happen. At least not in my experience when I've seen this setup, which I don't see it much. Not many people Dragon Install. Anywho, um, I'll just move on to see something like important, which I just did. Again, this Eno really loves to jump, and you'll see it here. So he tries to hit him with the JP. Right? He sees the air, he's like, oh, I'm an anti-air that jump JP. Doesn't work out for him. Fine, whatever. You're still safe. You recovered right here. You can jump back. You can air dash back, you can jump, double jump, neutral jump or something. Like you can get away with it. He is really fixated on hitting him on the way down. So you just get hit, he tries to jump K. You'll see like it starts to come out right there. He does it way too late. He doesn't react in time. He just gets anti-aired. Well, not really anti-aired. He gets hit on the way down. I guess he double tapped it because he got a counter hit. So he pressed it here and then pressed it here. yeah, definitely. If you're gonna do with the jump P, and Soul does this, of course, he just jumps, doesn't like it, just gets out of there. Do that instead. Okay, I really need to move on because I'm never gonna get through these rounds. Again, yeah, there it is. Again, you just jump. There's no reason for you to do this. I mean, yeah, it does clash a lot of the times, but and this player, and I've seen this in the other rounds, he doesn't really follow this up with anything correctly. If he does a super jump or jumps in, he just does jump kick. Like if you're going to commit to the fact that is doing this, at least follow up with jump P or JS or something. He just does JK on the way down. He just wants it to clash, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in his head, but it's a bad idea. 2D, whatever. Okay. This, I want to say, like, you can poke sometimes with 5K, but I don't think that's what he was trying to do in this case. I think he just he committed to the backdash HCL, which I guess he fucked up. I can't really see his input, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because that's what he has been doing in the other rounds. So there's no reason for him to have not done that. So good to knockdown. This follow up is either a safe jump, and I'm pretty sure it happens in this round. It comes to bite him in the ass. That's a safe jump. You don't really have. Again, Soul cancels it into his air dash. Was it a safe jump? Yeah, it was from 2D. Yeah, so definitely could. He just did it a little too late. But regardless, he did it. He canceled into his air dash. So in this distances is one of the like kind of iffy distances where you want a 6P. Like if you know there's an air dash coming, 6P might have whiffed against JH, but he doesn't do a JH, he just JP. So these are kind of tricky. There's this a Soul player, I forgot who it was, who I play every so often. He just mashes JP. Soul can get like 5 JPs on the way down. So just make sure, just again going off in tangents, don't block low. Through those 5 JPs because they're fuzzies, so that he will hit you high. He will hit you high standing when you're trying to block low. Again, I'm not gonna go too much into fuzzies, but regardless, these insta blocks the JK, which is awesome in his part. I'm not sure if he was expecting this follow up, but you can just throw that afterwards, and that can happen to Eno too. Some players that I have played who are really good. I have gotten an air dash JH. JS. They block the JS and the JH with insta blocks, or just the JH and insta block, and you can throw you immediately afterwards. So be careful with that. Just so you know, it can happen. It's universal in this game to some degree for air dashes. Okay, and. Again with the normal jumps. So, super jumps. I want to say he was just super jumping just to make something happen, because he's not really trying to anti-air him on the way up. Again, I don't know why he's doing this. I mean, he gets away with it, clearly. That's why he's doing it, because he does JK here on the way down. It works. He gets a hit. Finally, it works out for him. But what does he do afterwards? Does he cancel it into anything? Or does he follow it up with anything? Nope, he just lands 2K. I mean, it works because of he's super jumping, so it works on the way down, because he has enough momentum to just JK this high and then land. Because usually you can't do that from like hovers. So I want to say he super jumps all the time and JKs on the way down specifically to do this, but it's somewhat of a bad follow-up, a bad idea, because you can get anti-aired and you're committing to it. So I'd rather it not doing that. If you are, you can also follow it up with a bunch of other stuff. But okay, I need to move on. I'm not gonna commit too much to it. But anyways, I really need to finish soon. Anyways, 2K to S. So this is another example I had spoken about earlier. Had you followed this up with a 2H, you would have made a 2H whiff. But you whiff a 2H, which recovers immediately fast, insanely fast, compared to whiffing an HCL. So if you whiff an HCL in this situation, because right there, Soul recovered here. he has all the time of the world to hit you because you're recovering, still recovering, still recovering, still recovering, still recovering, still recovering. You're still recovering, and then you recover there. Now you're good to play. During this whole time, Soul could have done 4S or 5H or something. Again, Soul is probably not the best example to use, but he could definitely hit you, and it'll be a counter hit. So again, Kai is it's really easy example to do. Oh, hang on, got a dog. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Where was I? If I can move the video. There you go. Okay, so he whiffed HCO. Don't do that. That's bad. There's another thing I want to commend the Xeno player for. I don't really have any of these, but he anti-airs with 5k. This happens in the very first round where he won against Soul. That's a correct distance to use it in. Because had he used 6p, it would have not connected with this close slash. Definitely 5p was the right answer here. He follows it up properly as well, so that's a good commendation. But what he does afterwards, let me see. Yeah, okay, he does this. Now that looks sick as fuck. I don't know about you. I think that's pretty fucking cool. You beta DP with a 6 ace. That's super cool. I think that's cool. It looks cool. You clash. It's like fucking anime. Don't do it. Okay, it's a bad idea. There's a reason why no one does this. Most importantly because it clashes. Yes, it does work. Yes, it does not work at close distances. It works at this distance. It does work in. It may not work in some other characters. I want to say it does work against Kai in this distance as well. It looks cool. Boom, clash. The problem is that clash part. If it didn't clash, then you would be okay. I would say definitely go for it. But because it clashes, you can cancel a clash. In this game, you can cancel anything from a clash into everything. I think you can cancel this into a faultless defense, for example. You're safe. If you like, instead of whiffing a dragon punch and being punishable, you can recover in the air, which is what happens here. He cancels it into JP and like at the very last second, I guess, or maybe that's when you can cancel it. I'm not too sure, but regardless, he recovered in the air. He is faultless defending on the way down. You don't get a punish. This, I guess was not expecting this, because had I seen this, I'd be like, oh, I get free punish, and I would have done the exact same thing. So don't do that. Please don't clash it. Don't do 6S. It looks cool, but don't do it. Anyways, HCO. Okay, so he fucks it up here. He gets a grounded note. The reason I say he messed up is because you have meter. You could have gone for a grounded note YRC, fly over him and hit him with like a cross-up fireball or something, or fucking follow it up with anything else, like whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, you have a ton of meter to make a lot of stuff. Your limit is your imagination and your knowledge and setups. He doesn't do anything with that. He just lets him fly away. You just got a knockdown, bro. You got a knockdown. You have to do something with it. He doesn't do it. Again, I had said this. I think I said this at the very beginning. He likes to enter with 5p, and this is one of the situations where it doesn't work out for him. I want to say he didn't accidentally misinput a 6p and then get a 5p instead. I don't want to say, because that's not the proper timing. 6p would have been like around right here. That would have been the proper 6p timing. He just goes to the 5p. He just did it way too fast. I mean, this is one of the reasons why you should not. I mean, I guess it's arguable, because you could have done this with 6p and still get smacked. But if you're going to anti-air from like at this distance and people just jumping in on you, definitely 6p. Please don't do 5p. So again, yeah, he gets command grabbed. I can't blame you too much if you get command grabbed by Soul. It's what he does. It's what he's best at. He's either fishing for counter hit throws, or not counter hit throws, counter hit frame trap setups stuff, trying to catch you hitting buttons, or they throw you if you're not pressing buttons, So I can't blame you too much for getting thrown in it. You can fuzzy jump in. I won't get into it. at the moment, but there is a point where you can just block upwards and then block immediately down for like a fuzzy jump. So to get away with it, I mean, you do have to practice it, but uh, yeah, I mean, just so you know, that's a possibility. So again, with the safe jumps, he properly times the safe jump. He does JS. I'm sorry, JH on the way down. Oh no, that's a JS. I'm sorry, I'm retarded. I had said there was a safe jump, and this Eno falls through it. He just does super. Now her super is throwable. He goes up for another safe jump afterwards. So, um, the reason why you would super in that situation is to catch an air dash, and again, you're kind of committing 100% onto your opponent air dashing at you. So it's not usually the best option. You could have done something like 4P mash. Like if you time it properly, if you do it here, like you block for like a frame or two, and then you like here he would have blocked it. Like if you press 4P in this situation, if you're already holding back, or I guess in the next frame, you can kind of option select him air dashing at you. You can both block this on the way down, and on the very next frame you would have started your 4P animation, which would have catched his air dash. And the 4P is pretty fast, or 5P I guess you can say, is pretty fast. So that would have worked. You could have done that instead, but it's really, really, really tricky. You're most likely to get blown up for it instead, but it is possible. He goes for an air dash. I'm sorry, a safe jump again after the throw. But it doesn't fall for the super. So he does something cool here. Not cool, but he does something correctly. He insta blocks it. He insta blocks this one, the JS. He could have faultless defense and faultless defense this as well, but it throws him away far enough to make the 6P whiff. You can punish this. Usually you're not ready because it recovers pretty quickly. But he jumps away, which is kind of risky. The problem with this again is like he's still committing. He's still fixated on doing something. He jumps and then double jumps immediately. That's not how you use double jump. I want to say he tried to. He's just trying to get away from the corner and just jump away, because he saw this as like, oh, I could just jump over whatever Soul's doing. Well, not really, because the Soul was still jumping upwards. But if you want to get away from the corner, you can definitely do it. If you jump at this distance, is just pretty high, and just hold dive kick for a bit. If you hold dive kick here, you go over whatever Soul's trying to do. Like if they're trying to hit you like this, or with a P, jump P, because I don't think they will usually. In my experience, they don't really like super jump at you to catch you in the corner. They just jump forward, because you get a follow-up combo with it. Most anti-airs, like you do a jump P upwards. Like Soul did it, and definitely can. They just do a upwards jump P, or whatever. You don't really super commit to a super jump with a throw, because he's definitely trying to throw him here. He's definitely trying to throw him. But regardless, if you're gonna jump away like this, at least commit to the jump away. Dive kick out of there, or hold the dive kick, wait until Soul passes, and then dive kick. Don't just block it here. I mean, it is still safe. I mean, he's not eating a combo right now. But the reason what I'm trying to say here is like, what I'm trying to get at is like, if you're gonna jump here, don't fixate yourself, because you're still safe here. He's not gonna hit you with anything. If you see him jump, you can block it, or you can jump again. You can double jump and then avoid this hit entirely. He already committed to the double jump before Soul was even jumping. So, I mean, don't fixate yourself. If you jump, see, like, oh, Soul's not hitting me, then you can jump. Jump again to avoid a hit or something. I mean, it could have worked out better. He could have gotten. What I'm trying to get at is that he could have gotten away from the corner. He just didn't do it properly. He just ended back in the corner again. Now here, I think he was expecting an air dash, which would definitely have been the correct answer to use 5P. But he uses 5P. 5P luckily recovers super quickly. He didn't mash the 5P this time. So 5p block. I don't know. He didn't really do it. He did it here. He just blocked it. The dive kick. I don't know if he was expecting the dive kick. It was pretty fast. I mean, you just see it. Here, I mean, it was pretty fast. You don't really get to react to it. Oh, I mean, you can, but you could definitely block with the 5p. He was trying to catch an air dash. I'm just going in tangents here. I'm trying to think ahead, but I really need to move on. Okay, I need to move on. I need to get out of here. Okay, he goes for a burst safe setup HCL. HCO, he tries to bait out a burst. I guess I don't think he is, because he tries to follow it up with the 5k. This will work in some situations. Definitely wouldn't work on this one. I'm not sure. He just didn't assess the situation properly. He didn't manage the distances correctly. But if you're gonna do this, at least commit to close S. Close S would have definitely registered here. It would started to come up there and then hit him there, and then you can follow that up with the rest of the combo. But don't do this. This is bad. This is not a follow up to the combo. Correct one. Not a correct follow up. So he just lands and you don't really get much from it. You don't get. You can. He could have teched, but the soul doesn't do it. I guess he just accepted the fact that he got comboed. But again, he falls back into this. The backdash. You could have done something with it. You could have reacted. It's like, oh, he didn't tech? Okay, and then use my meter. Do something with it, man. Don't just stand there and hit it. You know, let him do whatever he wants. So we're back to this situation. We're back to this. You didn't put him in the corner. You didn't continue your pressure. You just went back to neutral, and now you're in this situation. So this game could have gone completely different had this just committed to something and used his meter. Okay, so Sol went full Unga here. He did wire C Fafnir, which does work. Catching people pressing buttons and stuff. It's pretty dangerous. He went full Unga, he got hit, he just mashed Fafnir again. So, most importantly, because of the wire C, Ino was kind of forced to just stay there. Which is what I said you should do instead of following up with the fireball. You can just stay there and then assess the situation. So Ino just saw that he got hit, so she tried to follow it up with the 2S. She wasn't really expecting the Fafnir, but because she just stayed there, she was able to get the follow-up and then combo it. I mean, why not? So definitely, like, instead of, if you want to see a better example, the better example as to why you should not follow up your note immediately, you could just stay there and follow it up, So now you have this knockdown. You have a proper follow-up, you have meter, you can do something happen, okay? Right? This Ino does not do that. I don't know why. He doesn't commit. He's scared of the burst. He sees his health. He's like, if I eat one Dragon Punch, I'm going to die. And he does this instead. Why? Soul is getting hit. Soul is blocking a note. Or you should be expecting him blocking a note. But you do this instead. You're trying to bait out a burst really badly. You just lost your chance again. Don't do this. Please don't do this. If you get a knockdown, definitely go in. Just go in, okay? If you know your opponent very well, then maybe you may not want to, but which is I guess is what is going on here, but definitely commit to this. You have meter, you can make more stuff happen. You can, if you're afraid of the burst here, okay, let him block this and then do an HCO YRC. You still have meter, you almost have 2 bars. You can do anything you want, dude. You can react to the burst even if you, I don't think he's that good, but you can do that too. You can do a lot of stuff. You can make something happen with the meter. Right here, you make something happen. He just tries to bait the burst. The burst again. Why, man? Don't just go in. This soul is scared of getting hit at all or getting thrown, getting something, dude. Not getting thrown because he's not jumping, but he's getting hit by everything. But this Ino's not committing. Okay, right there, that was good. That was good. He was close enough to see the fireball hit and then just follow that up. I commend that. That's fine. In the corner, the 2S connects more often than not. So like even though this might have whiffed mid screen, in the corner definitely doesn't. So that's fine. Again, fireball. He's getting hit. You could just jump in and throw him. Soul right now is afraid of getting chipped out. He's faultless defense, and he doesn't want any of this shit. You can just jump in and throw him. Like it works in most situations. Believe it or not, like even though you're scared about getting dragon punched or something, your opponent is also scared too. Okay, you can just abuse that. You know that. Just jump in and throw them. Okay, it works a lot. It works very often. They don't trust yourself. I guess trust Ino. Believe in Ino. She has the mix-ups, dude. Um, but yeah, this dude just tries to bait something out with the burst. Don't with the fireballs. Don't do that. You lost your chance 3 times in a row. Okay, he had 3 chances to make something happen. He didn't do anything with it. Please commit to it. Please. Okay, believe in Ino. Okay. Oh, all right. So this is like the very first example when I said, "Hey, like look at all this shit Solo Ino is getting away with it." Here he doesn't. Soul just runs up 6 Ps. I don't I don't think he was trying to jump K on the way down because he doesn't get counter hit or anything. I guess he was just trying to block. But if you're gonna block in the air, please faultless defense. Just another little point. Um, yeah, just neutral stuff, I guess. I'm not the best decisions on either part. Either way, I'm not gonna get too much into it because again, I need to move on. I've been wasting too much time already. Gets a counter hit, 6P. Okay, so he tried to to note, but he was too close to do it. So he saw this. The Ino player saw this. This is the distance he saw. He was like, oh, okay, I could just 6P. This is not a good situation to 6P in. This is definitely one of the situations where you want to air dash back or back dash or something. Again, it depends on the matchup. But definitely don't just ground note. I mean, because you'll get blown up more often than not. Don't do that. Bad decision on the Ino's part. You just get 6P and then the soul converts from it. Manages to get a hit and just converts from it. Now you're at half health. Right? You have to take this mix up. He's gonna throw you, or is he not? He throws you. Again, I can't blame you too much for getting thrown, but definitely you had more than enough chances to get away from that. He blocked a few Gatlings before he got thrown, so you could definitely challenge something there, or try to jump away, which is what he was doing beforehand, and it kind of worked for him. But I mean, again, I can't blame you too much for getting thrown by Soul, but still, you could have gotten away with it. If you know the fuzzy jump timing, if you know what to challenge, when to faultless defense, you could definitely get away with it, or from it. So good blocks on his part. That was tricky. I think I would have gotten hit by this, but he goes for a hella tricky mix-up. Whiffs the JS, and then just goes low. I mean, that was perfect fuzzy timing. Like definitely, it's important to know your timings and blockings and stuff, because you can definitely get away with not knowing what the hell your opponent is doing and still blocking it. A very perfect block. That was beautiful. Gets followed up, jumps away from the throw. Luckily gets a YRC follow up. This is kind of important to point out. I'm not too sure what he was trying to do, because he saw the burst definitely, but he doesn't go for like a complete burst safe setup. He kind of does an air dash forward here. That doesn't work. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, because I think JS comes out. That doesn't work. I didn't see. Okay, the first time I saw this, I didn't see the JS come out, but I thought he was trying to go for a command grab or something, trying to catch the burst. But this is definitely not the proper way of doing this. If you're gonna, again, I don't know what he was trying to do. The combo straight up doesn't work, and he has a burst. If you get to this situation and you're still trying to bait the burst, just jump forward and block, and he would have gotten to block the burst. Again, I don't know what the hell he was trying to do. Maybe he got the air dash by accident or something. I don't know what is going on in his head, but that combo straight up doesn't work. Yeah. Anyways, again, this is another situation why this Ino loves to just super jump. The JK, it does clash. It's a hell of a good button, but it's bad to combo with. And not only that, it will get you blown up by like some 6Ps in some distances. Again, I just said that it clashes a lot, but you could still get hit. I mean, it clashes more than not, but you still get hit. There's no reason to just bank your entire jump and just JK. That's what I'm trying to get at all this time. So He does that. He gets away with it. He could have 6P'd a little bit earlier. I think maybe. I don't know. She kind of turns last second, so but whatever. He wants to anti-air. That's not too bad. I can't. I don't want to get too much into things again. I need to move on. It's just been way too long already. Um. Yeah. The Gatling pressure and stuff for Soul. There's no reason for you to 6P here. I'm not too sure what the hell he was doing here. Why are you 6Ping? Um. I understand that you can challenge it with some stuff. I don't. I want to say, okay, I forgot to research this. This is what like something that I had to on my to-do list to research why he's 6P here. I don't think I've never really seen this. I don't know if like 6P does catch some stuff that Soul does. I want to say it doesn't. I forgot to look this up. Oh, anyways, there's still either ways. There's no reason for you to start hitting buttons immediately. You can challenge it sometimes, but if you insta block it and if they land really close to you. But in this case, is like if you're this far, there's no like reason for you to press buttons because stuff like this will happen. Had he pressed 5P, had he pressed 2H or something like that, he would have still gotten hit by Soul's Titty. So, and 6P, I don't know why he did 6P. Again, I'm sorry. I didn't look that up. That was something I was looking that was on my to-do list for sure before doing this video, but then I just did it because I forgot. Anyways, yeah, if you get hit, you give if you fucked up because he got his burst blocked. I'm not sure if you saw that. But here is when you should have immediately mashed burst as soon as you got hit, because actually I want to say you would have avoided it, but if you're okay, let me go back. The thing I want to get into is if you're this low in health, you probably if you start getting hit by combos, they're either going to bait it because you're kind of screwed up in options. You get a hit or two, and then you're definitely going to burst because if you don't burst, you're going to die. And they know that as well, so they're going to go for the burst save combo. Don't do that. Like if you have a burst and you have this low of health, just use it as you're blocking. Like right here, neutral, you could just use burst. Just fuck off, dude. Just get off my face. You're out of the pressure and you still have your health. That would be a more smart way of doing it. That, or you could have definitely used a dead angle, because I mean he's close to dead angle. He has not gotten it yet. But what I'm trying to get at is like you're gonna get your burst baited if you're this close to your health, because your options are very limited. You either die or you either die because you can't wait till a safe part in the combo to burst, or you just burst immediately before you even get comboed. So that would be a smarter way to burst, because this guy definitely gets hit 2 hits in or 3 hits in and then bursts. You just get it blocked. That the whole thing was safe. So yeah, you died and died with meter. Unfortunately, that does happen sometimes, but I mean it is what it is. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let yourself get fucking burst baited. Like that's fucking infuriating. Anyways, I went over a lot of stuff today. I kind of went off in a lot of tangents. I'm sorry if that annoyed some people, but this video is hella fucking long. I'll try to do something shorter next time. I will definitely get around doing the Turio and versus Ain video, or maybe Darude versus Ain, because I think everyone plays the Kai matchup, and it'll help everyone. It'll help me too. But yeah, again, sorry for taking too long for making this video. If you stuck around this whole thing, wow, props to you, because this video is hella fucking long. I don't know if I would have done it myself, but I went off in a lot of tangents. Hopefully I can get rid of that. I did my homework this time though. I didn't just pick up the microphone and commentated a match. I actually looked up ahead and kind of just wrote some stuff down on my head on what I should talk over. Again, I'm sorry I didn't research over that 6P thing versus that 2D. Again, I don't or after the block bandit revolver. But yeah, like I'll try to do better. This video was hella fucking long. I didn't want to do it this long, but I ended up just going on a lot of tangents and stuff. But hopefully that helps you out, I guess, and helping you neutral. Like if you're still learning Nino, or you're still like not too sure where you're going wrong in your play, you can definitely learn from this dude. Don't do a lot of stuff. I know his problem. I pointed this out a lot. Was he's just super jumping. He doesn't really get punished in this video because of it, but it does happen after, like, in the later matches, because this is long set. There's like 10 games, I think it was, like 12. I don't remember the exact number. It was a longish set, and this Eno definitely gets blown up later on once Sol adapts to him just jumping, and he'll do it with like throws, or he'll just like bait it out entirely. So again, you can see that on your own. I'll put a link in the description. You can look it up yourself. If there's anything I did wrong, which I probably did a lot of wrong, because I'm still kind of like wet behind the ears on this shit, definitely let me know. I'm not scared of any sort of criticism. I didn't play this match in its full, speed, so sorry about that. I know I got some complaints about that because they're not seeing it in its entirety, but I mean, I can't really review it without going in slow motion. So it is what it is. Hopefully I can get the next video up sooner rather than later, but we'll see. It depends a lot on how much work I have. So again, if you want to see more, let me know. If you want to criticize on it, how I'm doing this, let me know. If you want me to improve on something, let me know. I don't really care. Like, good or bad news, like, I'll take it. But I just want to improve, So let me know. Anyways, I'm out.